What is going on, everyone? We are back.
That sounded really, really threatening.
Yeah. Back.
Hi.
I'm depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are
Hella depraved.
So we're doing something a little different on the fun side today.
This was adventurous.
This was so. For those of you that have been keeping up, we've been ranking.
Me. I've been watching.
She's the only one that's been watching, but I'm hoping
Which
at
is
some
fine.
point somebody goes through and watches.
Because I love Dragula and I love watching more Dragula.
This is the stuff we want to talk about, so this is what we're doing.
This is the stuff I'd love to see on their Patreon.
Yeah.
Not us necessarily. I'm just saying, like, this is the cool stuff that I want to discuss it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So throughout the entirety of the first season, there are technically 47 looks
by the queens,
by the
not the Boulet
contestants,
brothers.
The contestants. 4 of them were omitted from us because A, I couldn't get a good picture of them, and B,
they were the live punk performance.
There were the live performance ones that they did in San Francisco, and the episode was titled Sea Monsters Attack. So I was like, I'm going with the sea monster looks because that's the ones that the episode's about.
Now, we did touch on them in that episode. I will touch on them in this list, but yes.
But all 43 have been ranked by the 2 of us in the same fashion that we've been doing them in.
Kind of. There is a slight difference. This ranking is solely on the actual look, what we thought of it, not how it applied to the competition.
Correct. So you can't go through and be like, oh, but you ranked this higher over here. Yes, because we're also the type of people typically that, like, our decisions are also based on the fact it's a competition.
Right.
And if somebody says, hey, you need to look like a zombie, but you come in not looking like a zombie,
rabbit,
then yeah, you're going to be ranked low specifically because I was not even going with the rabbit because you ranked that even lower.
Yeah, you're gonna rank low anyway.
But you're going to rank low specifically because you're not a zombie.
Right. A better example that I should have mentioned is Vander's Skeletor look. Because it's an amazing, gorgeous look for the zombies, but she is definitely a skeleton. Right. So, yes.
Alright, so without further ado, you're not going to see us anymore.
Much ado
until the end.
About nothing.
Towards the end. Yeah.
We love you, though.
So, let's get started. Alright. I do believe yours is the first one that I had. Let me make sure you're 43. Yes, it is.
Okie dokie. And, since I already mentioned it, I absolutely despised Loris's rabbit look. It had nothing to do with the competition. I just don't like it. I mean, like... And that's saying something from me because I am a mad Alice in Wonderland fanatic. Like, especially the more fucked up you can make it, the more I enjoy it. And this straight-jacketed rabbit would have been perfect for, like, a Madness Returns kind of vibey. But,
Did you need a pen, too, to mark things off?
You just stole mine. But I'm not a big fan of this look. There's something about it... And I don't want to go back on my word and say that somehow the fact that it is in a zombie competition matters. I just found it it's very blah to me.
All right. My most blah. Season 1, Episode 2, Ursula Major. This is, in my opinion, that I can even recall, and I'm just being honest here, I think my most hated look in the entire series.
Wow. Okay.
Because it's nothing. It is 2 strands of string, a couple colorful cloth pieces, and that's it. It's nothing.
She looks fabulous in it.
She looks fabulous in everything.
They
all do.
I feel like
I don't like the outfit, though.
This is 2 postage stamps and a subway ticket tied together with string.
Right.
Like, it's great. But it's not,
This isn't glam. This isn't filth. This isn't horror. this isn't even... What the fuck was this even for?
This was the wrestling.
Wrestling. That's not even a wrestling outfit.
She would have made an amazing roller derby queen.
The Bastion Booger, maybe?
Oh, she would have made
That's an actual wrestler, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that. She would have made an amazing roller derby chick. Like, if they had chosen female roller derby as the sport instead of wrestling...
Maybe.
Yeah, you pop a pair of, like, rollerblades on this chick, and she looks badass.
But yeah.
But so okay.
That's the, and I'm still doing the snake as well, so.
Okay.
I'll be going next. My number 42, which is season 1, episode 1, Pinche.
Yeah.
It's just a boring look after all said and done. Okay, I don't mind it, right? I didn't hate it to the point that I think the Boulets did initially, because I don't mind the all blacked out face with the white eye. I think the white eye looks cool with it. Where this one completely falls apart, which is where the Boulets were right, is from the waist down.
Yeah.
Like, she had a lot going on with everything up top, and then she just ran out of fabric.
I loved the like almost like black tree type viney look to the fabric, but I agree. And honestly, that is one of the complaints that I have this whole season that I've made, is just like, I think where most of the outfits fall apart is from waist down, and we have to remember, a lot of these girls go on stage and people want to see legs for days, or they're on internet only, so they're not used to walking a catwalk. So they don't need to have stuff on their bottom half, basically. But yes, I agree. The wrestling looks were just not it for me. I'll just say that. Foxy's was awful. And even the Boulets said, had she not had her shtick when she walked out, this is nothing. It's brown, it's ill-fitted, it was loose on her derriere, which she has a very nice figure. Like, this did nothing for any of it. It's just, it is shit. And she was the shit in this, so, yeah. Okay, my number 41 was Frankie's horror look. I goddamn hated this. Again, I am a very angry princess over this angry princess look. Okay? I'm bitter. Get over it. I hate it.
Alright, my number 41 is Foxy Adjue's shit look.
It is a shit look.
For all the same reasons you mentioned.
I love Foxy. You know, and I don't think she should have gone home when she did. She should have gone home for this look if she was going to go home for one of her looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aside from that, again, sticking with the wrestling stuff for this one, Meatball.
Yeah.
She was one of the winners.
Yeah.
And I could not agree less.
I mean, she did have a good gag. And... yeah, no, I know you hated this look. She looks like
this look.
She looks like ketchup and mustard.
I am a wrestling fan, guys. I love wrestling. Does.
In fact, he wants us to make sure that we get off of here in time for him to watch the event tonight. So and he's like, oh dear God.
It's AEW's big business tonight. But yeah, I hate this look. It's with a passion.
Well, I'm gonna put Pinche up there again for her witch look. Again, all the reasons, it's incomplete. And I feel so bad because I really did like her as a contestant. And I think if she had done what she did waist up, she could have easily been one of the top in this particular challenge. I don't know how long she would have lasted. We don't know. She didn't even get to come back for the Last Supper, people. Okay, so back to wrestling. It's Ursula. Yeah, I know. Again, it's just as cute as I think she looks in this, because honest to God, I do think this is a damn cute look for her. It's not competition level. And I think that's the complaint I have a lot with these ones that we have put up on the board so far, is this is a competition. And I know this is the first season, and I definitely give them props because they're so creative. Yeah, they're so creative. They have nothing to compare it to. The Boulet brothers mention it plenty of times that there's not really a place for alt drag, or there wasn't. And so, like, they don't really have all that many places to showcase their looks and whatnot. But, like, this would be cute on the beach with a pair of roller skates.
Right. My number 39, sticking with wrestling. Melissa B. Fierce.
Yeah.
From season 1, episode 2.
She's a pretty kitty, but...
You want to know where she suffers? I have seen people dress up in the kitty outfit in other places with cheaper material and still pull it off better.
Oh, God, this is like...
I hate it. This is so basic. This
is my kitty look, and I'm not lying, from like 4th grade, 3rd grade, something like that. Halloween, guys, Halloween.
Now, do not get me wrong. Melissa goes on to kill so much of this competition.
Good. Yeah.
I just hated this look.
And she's got a fierce figure. I mean, like, it's not like
she was definitely my favorite person in this episode because she goes on to beat Xochitl's ass. She goes on to beat Xochitl's ass.
This is my litter box.
But
yeah,
hated the look. My number 38, season 1, episode 6, Frankie Doom's horror look. Hey, look, it's back.
Right. It's kind of like an STD. It just keeps on giving.
I really do feel like, I did not add this during this conversation that we had last time. I really do feel like if there's anything that the Boulets base off of this season alone, it's their growing distaste for purchased costume pieces.
Especially when they're onesies.
Bodysuits,
yeah.
Because there's no way this was custom designed. There was no work put into it.
It goes along with Drax's utter hatred
for Club Kid boots.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually like Club Kid boots, so I can't disagree more with them on that.
And I have a problem discerning between what is a Club Kid boot and what is not. Like, is there a specific one, like a style of a Demonia or something she hates?
I don't know.
Or does she just, like, hate the brand? Like, somebody tell me, please, because I'm actually interested. Because me, personally, I love my Demonias. Okay. 38, Frankie, the filth finale. Because again, girl, I loved you up until this episode. In fact, I loved your Last Supper look. It was fantastic. I loved your black wig with the green stripes that you wore during the crowning ceremony. But this is just like... Look, I had a dress like this. My mom took me to Goodwill. We went there for my dress up stuff and my Halloween costumes when I was in elementary school. Had a dress like this. Did I put a pig nose on? No, but I probably should have. This was just nothing. Right. Because filth-wise, all she did was eat stuff. She didn't get the dress grubby. She didn't get her face grubby. She didn't, like, there's just nothing. There's nothing. Yeah. It's not giving me filth. Okay, so... My number 37 was Xochi Mochi with the witch look. And this is a subjective thing, guys, because I both like this look and utterly hate it. I love the sort of puritanical, look for the collar and the black dress and even... the style of witch hat that she chose. I know she did an amazing job with her actual performance. I hate this comical makeup. And I have to say that it might not be Xochi's fault entirely. I got very tired of it with Erica Clash, and I do love Erica, don't get me wrong. I'm just not into the let's make myself a surreal pop painting look. I don't like it. So, unfortunately, the makeup, it took me out of the moment for this.
Yeah, I have her a bit higher on that one, but not too much higher. Alright, my number 37. Season 1, Episode 4, Vander Von Odd. This is, in my opinion, at least for this episode, the most boring... Pretty in Pink.
This is her cat lady look, right?
No, this is her wearing a house robe.
Yeah. Cat lady look.
She's cat lady,
yeah,
not cat woman.
No. She has the curlers in her hair.
Yeah.
She's doing this, and it just reminds me of the like stereotypical cat lady.
Yeah, and I just found it boring.
Which, by the way, guys, I'm a cat lady entirely, just not the stereotypical one. But yeah. You know what's really sad is I absolutely love the dress under this. I hate the third look, whatever it is, corset, but the dress is amazing.
Yeah. Then after that, sticking with Vander, actually.
Huh? She gets a double whammy.
Yeah, her filth. I'm not a fan of this filth look at all.
I only have her a little higher up.
It's it just didn't.
There's not much to it.
What she did was
her performance,
filthy.
yes,
absolutely, and was a great performance.
And the way she moves is so entrancing.
Their final three, they suffer from it not being our first time seeing a final three as a whole, because people go on to do absolutely insane things,
incredible looks,
and something like this just, in my mind, is hard to be excited for when it's just not as...
It felt basic.
Yeah.
And I also...
Especially compared to her other two looks.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I feel like each one of them picked the one that they got the most excited about, that they, like, immediately, their creative juices just snapped and their synapses went wild, and that look is the look that was just epic, but the other two flopped.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you on that. Okay, 36 for me is Frankie, wrestling, which is episode 2. I just, love Frankie, but I'm gonna be honest, like, she said it a couple times that she felt like, you know, what's on her front were her only assets, and, like, I just don't feel like putting tape on your tits is enough for a really, like, because with the wrestling looks, you want to make an impact, like, you want people to remember you, and this is just, to me, this is like, I'm gonna go jazzercise it up.
Right.
So 35 is Meatball with the zombie episode 3.
This is the first time it's happened.
What?
That's my 35 as well.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. Attitude was fantastic. Meatball made me laugh the whole way through. But this is just sort of your standard Victorian, sort of maybe, more Marie Antoinette period dress that she just sort of accessorized for the moment. I don't really feel like there was a lot put into this one.
Yeah, it's
I also feel like she did the Mrs. Doubtfire thing with her face.
Well,
like
she tried to go all Mrs. Doubtfire as well, but, like, character-wise, it was her witch character done again.
Oh, 100%. And she called her out.
And she was called out for it. It just...
Yeah.
I agreed.
Evil Queen Witch. Yeah.
I agreed absolutely with what the Boulets said here at this point was...
We need to see some other character.
Have we seen the best Meatball had to offer?
Thank God we did not.
Right.
But, you know, yeah. Because she's funny as hell.
All right, moving on to the next screen.
All right, guys, one down.
My number 34, 34, is season 1, episode 4's Meatball.
Yep.
We're in my Meatball block, y'all.
It's always good to have Meatball in a block. Large portions only.
It screamed basic to me.
It's supposed to be
basic. It's basic, bitches, but I mean...
This is the one with the open butt flap in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I say basic, I'm not even talking about, like, it doesn't even scream basic bitch to me. It just screams just basic.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Other than her one little acting thing that she pulled out of nowhere where she was like, I like the one where...
Oh, I love that
she
line.
Pulls out her cell phone.
No, Daddy, I didn't offer a blowjob to get out of PAE. I gave him one. Yeah. That was cute.
Fun. But...
My 34 is Loris's Wrestling, which is episode 2. I get it. This is one of those looks that makes you remember. It is. I just don't like it. I just don't. That's it. This was subjective.
I mean, it all should be.
Honestly, the wrestling looks I was not a big fan of, just in general, guys. So.
I will admit I have this way higher.
Well, you liked it during the episode too. But my number 33 is Melissa's wrestling from episode 2 as well. Like, again,
she's in the wrestling block.
Yeah, like he has a meatball block, I have a wrestling block. You know how it is. But yeah, again, this is a costume that honestly I did put together when I was in elementary school for Halloween. So, yeah.
My number 33 to break up my meatball block is Loris's basic bitch costume.
Right.
Just not a fan.
Yeah, I could see. Okay.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay.
Calm down.
I will calm my tits over here. It's kind of hard to reel them in. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, that just again, it's
Paris Hilton 101.
It's not a fun one. My season 1 episode, or my number 33, season 1, episode 1, Meatball.
You mean 32?
Yeah, 32.
Okay.
I don't know why I said 31. I think I was trying to say season 1, episode 1, and then I tried to say 32, but it came out 31.
Right.
But it was just her witch look, the candy witch thing.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was.
Yeah. I have her a bit higher, but yeah, she was pretty low during the competition. Yeah. 32 is Melissa's witch look from episode 1. It's not a witch look. She looked fierce, but she's not a witch.
Right.
She's not a witch. She's my wife. Anyway, if you know, you know. 31 is Meatball's sea creature in episode 5. Honestly, she looked more like she was gonna do synchronized swimming. She had like the cap on, and again, guys, like there's nothing from the waist down. You know, it's just very basic.
Right. My next one, season 1, episode 2, Frankie Doom. For a lot of the same reasons you mentioned. Now, I was a little bit higher up on this look originally.
Yeah.
Than you were, and I'm a little higher up on it now. I for me, what really makes me enjoy this look is everything she did from the head, face up.
You mean her hair and makeup and
her hair and makeup and stuff was really fun on this one. Mm-hmm. Really did capture the 80s feel that they were going for. Honestly, the only thing I didn't like was what she did with her boobs. It's just unfortunate that those are like, front and center. Right. But the outfit itself was fine. The hair was good. The makeup was good. It was just her boobs were the only problem for me in this picture.
Which is kind of interesting to say, but sometimes you just
It would be different too if she didn't have a very similar look in the last episode.
Well, yeah, I just feel like she needs a catchier look.
Right.
I don't know.
And then my number 30 is the season 1, episode 6, Frankie Doom filth look.
Yep.
It's my Frankie Doom block.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like we get blocks. I had a Melissa there for a moment, We're going to have moments, y'all.
But yeah, the filth one, again, it just... I didn't do anything for me, really.
Same. 30, Vander, filth look. And for the same reasons you just mentioned for Meatball. I mean, Frankie, sorry.
You pulled a me.
Yes, I did. Because I was looking at the tits that are front and center and highlighted in highlighter pink, actually. But yeah, this is just for all the reasons we mentioned. Now, Vander has this absolutely entrancing way of moving. And honestly, I loved watching her prance on the catwalk for this. I could not stomach watching over and over and over, because we did watch over and over and over the actual end performance at the end of the catwalk where she's puking and stuff. Like, no, not my thing. However, the look itself was very basic. All right, 29 for me was Loris's basic bitch episode 4 look. And again, like, Paris Hilton did it better.
Yeah.
And that's with all... I think she had 3 costume reveals, too. Like, and none of them got better than the last. So, yeah.
Season 1, episode 3 for me. We're finally getting around to Loris' zombie look for my side. Like I said, I had it a little bit higher than you did.
A lot.
I guess technically it would be a lot, wouldn't
Yeah, 29 places higher. I'd say that's a lot.
But 29 full places higher. You had it at
The last.
43?
The last, yeah. Yeah.
So 13 places higher than you did.
My lucky number.
No, so I actually don't mind the actual bunny look. It just wasn't a zombie look. The prosthetics are some of the best prosthetics for anyone in the entire season.
That's also true. I'll give her that.
She did a good job with that. She just...
Makeup-wise, Loris really excelled.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My next one is season 1, episode 4, Frankie Doom. Who'd have thunk? If you haven't noticed, a lot of the Pretty in Pink
Didn't do it for you.
did do it for me.
Right.
I'm here for
Horror.
alternative drag.
I'm here for horror.
Right. I'm here for the horror. I'm here for the filth. Glam to an extent.
Right.
I'm definitely...
I mean, like, this is a big one that I disagree with you on, but subjectively, I do understand why it's not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, so that's my... Hers is much higher for this one.
Much higher. Okay. Yeah, for me, 28 was Xochi Mochi with her basic bitch look. And I know yours is, again, higher. It was higher when we ranked these by themselves. I'm just not big at all on either of the two Southern Belle looks that she gave. And, you know, again, she did have a sort of more like at-home nightgown-ish reveal. And it wasn't better to me. It just wasn't. So, 27 is Vander's basic bitch look. And again, she had 3 reveals. And I think it sucks that she waited so long to reveal the dress that was her second look. I think it should have come out at this beginning stage where they're doing the catwalk, not where they're getting crap thrown on them and doing the lip sync. I think she should have gone into the lip sync already just down to that look. Because the dress that she wears, the 1950s dress, is gorgeous. This robe and shit that I'm basing this... No. Don't like it.
Right. My number 27... is Melissa B. Fierce's glamour look. I'm going to go ahead and throw up my number 26. Vander Von Odd's season 1, episode 6 glamour look.
Okay, all right. We got a block going, guys. Because 26 for me is Frankie's glamour look.
And I'd already had Frankie's glamour look the highest on my original
glamour
looks for the 3 of them anyways. Mine's not much higher than what you've got yours at now.
Right.
I'm just, as far as the whole glamour block, you want to talk about an entire block of looks that I was disappointed in. This is not all fair to them.
Right.
Because again, this was one of the last seasons we watched. And the glamours for them just do not match up for a lot of the other glamours that we get throughout the series.
Right.
But also, and we talked about this during our season 1, episode 6 episode review. They all look like they just took home a piece of the curtain.
They do. They blended way too perfectly.
And they all looked very similar in a lot of ways until... obviously until Vander actually took off her portion to do the reveal. And even then, she still kind of blended in with the back until they pulled her away from the stage and was on the catwalk. But I at least give her props for having a dog.
I loved her puppy. Honestly, that's why there's a number of reasons Vander's glamour look is higher for me. I did think Frankie pulled together this glamour look really well for not having ever experimented with glamour before, which is what she said. And it was definitely an ode to the Boulet brothers kind of look. But again, they all suffered from it being the same fabric, and that's not their fault.
Right.
But it does make a difference, especially having been on stage myself for musical theater and stuff. Guys, no professional stuff, just high school. But like having to take into consideration not blending into the sets is a big thing, because you want the back audience to be able to see you, yada yada yada.
Right.
So,
all right, moving on to the next screen. It's not the screen. Next screen.
and I believe I'm missing one because I have Frankie's glamour look twice. Like 25, I wrote Frankie glamour. So I'm not sure which one I'm actually...
Oh no, I didn't even realize that you'd done that.
Yeah, I don't know which one I'm missing. So I might have to come back to that, guys, because I know the rest of it I don't have any repeats.
We just really don't like Frankie's glamour look.
So, well, she's about halfway. She's good to go.
I'm surprised I didn't realize that you didn't. And I think it's because it's on a different page.
I think it's because this is a really, really, really long list.
Yeah.
So we'll figure out what I missed at some point, but...
Down the line.
Yeah.
My number 25.
5.
Are we that far up?
We are.
Marking things off here. Hold on.
Aha.
My number 25. We're finally getting around to season 1, episode 1's Xochi Mochi look.
Ah. So you put that much higher. Okay.
Yeah. A bit higher.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy it. She looks a lot like another wrestler for me by the name of Ruby Riot? Ruby? Or Ruby Soho. I think it's Ruby Soho. Is her wrestling name. I think she used to go by Ruby Riot in WWE. But I actually liked the over-exaggerated makeup. I thought it helped the overall look stand out to me.
Right.
My number 24 is season 1, episode 6, Frankie Doom Glamour. Again, not too, like I said, it wasn't much higher than yours.
Right, right.
By any means, even at the 26th spot, even though it's also on 25 now.
Right. Even if I put it multiple times because there is that. Right.
It wasn't much higher. I hated the glamour looks for the last episode.
Yeah. My 24 is Meatball's episode 1 witch look. Now, I put this higher because I do enjoy sort of like the, I would say this is almost the Disney-fied version of the Candy Witch from Hansel and Gretel. You know, and so I do kind of enjoy her ode to that. But again, like, she was called out for pieces being pre-ordered.
See your list.
And I just don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I think he's trying to check and see what it is I'm missing.
I thought it might have been Frankie's sea creature look, because I know you weren't too high up on it originally.
I thought I already put that on there.
But it's up there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It'll probably be something we won't be able to check till after we're done.
Yeah, that's okay. So my 23 look is Xochi's wrestling look from episode 2. Again, just...
I think the mouse is dying again.
Quite a lot of the wrestling looks just didn't do it for me. I do think that she did a better job in terms of coming up with a character and really like overdoing the look to make it work. But again, I felt like it was an ill-fitted costume. You know, it just did nothing for her derriere. It was kind of saggy-ish. It just, yeah, not great.
Right. My number 23 is season 1, episode 3, Foxy Adjue. It's her zombie look. I honestly, I wasn't near as down on this as the Boulet seemed to be.
Oh, at all, obviously, for me.
But to be fair, I don't even know if they were necessarily down on it. I'm pretty sure she got eliminated because of her attitude.
Because she was down on it. Yeah. And it wasn't like an attitude. It was just like she was so insecure and just not happy with the creation she was coming up with, which was sad because I really did think she, you know, could have excelled.
My number 22, sticking in my little mini Foxy block, is Foxy's witch costume. She had one of the better witch ones. I'm not gonna lie.
I do like it.
I do like her witch one. But just in terms of general looks, not amongst my faves, but it's not amongst my most hated either.
Right.
It's kind of in the middle.
Sticking with the episode 1 is Frankie for me. Her witch look was just basic, you know, and that hot pink headband with a voodooan priestess or an African tribal priestess drives me batshit. Right. And it did then, it does now, and it always will. So there's that. 21 for me was Melissa's zombie look in episode 3. Now, I did like this. Obviously, it's not that low down. I thought it was quite smart of her to go with the Hispanic mama, you know, having a miscarriage or something going on here. Obviously, it's a bloody mess. But her face prosthetic, or whatever you want to call it, did remind me of those, like, pre-made masks that you buy to, like, hydrate your, like a face mask, you know, and you just stick it on your face and part of it's, like, falling off and stuff. Yeah. So, that's why it's not up that high.
My number 21, season 1, episode 5's Meatball. We're finally getting to the first sea creature one on my list. I was actually kind of high up on all the sea creatures as a whole. I thought they were some of the better looks of the season. Because I felt like even between the 4 of them, it looked like it was the most work put on anything from all of them up to this point. None of it between the 4 of them looked store-bought.
It was definitely all... Yeah.
And you could definitely tell they were fighting for that top 3 spot by this point.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately for Meatball here, for me, and apparently for the judges, because she ended up going home off of this. It looked like hers was the most unoriginal out of everybody's.
Right.
My number 20 is season 1, episode 4's Xochitl.
All right.
This was the Southern Belle look. As far as glam goes, for me personally, you don't get much more glam than Southern Belle.
Yeah, this was one of your favorite glam looks the entire season.
Yeah. And again, a lot of that is I'm from the Midwest, so we get a lot of Southern style stuff here.
I'm sorry, I'm wearing like a dress with quote unquote coffin lined velvet fabric, and I'm so far from a Southern Belle. It's not even, I mean, like, I might say bless your heart occasionally, like more than occasionally, but that's about as close as you get.
But so no, I do enjoy the Southern Belle look as a whole.
Right.
I would never date one because they're also usually really snotty, but
well, so am I. Just not like that kind of snotty. Like, I reserve my right to judge you if you're not cool enough. Right. You can't sit with us. Anyway, yeah. No, I get it. 20 for me would be Melissa's glamour look in the finale. I wasn't as down on the glamour because obviously I love the glamour. I'm less of a filth person. I'm more of glamour, horror, alt. You like the filth and the horror, which is just totally fine. I think she put a lot of work into this. Like, we saw her hand rhinestoning the top part. She really flawlessly wore it as well. This was a lot of work. But again, that curtain took away from so much. And yeah, that's about all I can say. So this is my little Melissa block here.
Oh, we have a huge Melissa block completely.
This is well, I've got like 3 in a row here. So my number 19 is Melissa's Sea Creature, which is also my number 19. Now, to be fair, as far as the sea creatures go, I didn't hate it. I really didn't like this one, though. Again, I feel like it's much more crocodilian or something, but I mean, it was, again, it's not store-bought. She put a lot of work into it, so it's not... I mean, guys, this is number 19 out of 43 looks, so it's not that low. It's just, it's not that high.
My number 18, mine was about 19 for the same reason. And again, it goes back to what I said for Meatballs. All of their sea creature looks I thought were
really
outstanding.
Good. Yeah.
These 2 for me were just probably the most boring out of the 2.
Generic. More generic.
Right. My number 18 is season 1, episode 3, Melissa. So my zombie's up
Okay.
a little higher. Not
Okay.
much higher. But my only complaint with this look, and it was the same complaint I had when we were watching the episode, is the face looks way too fake.
Yeah.
It's very paper mache like, and looks like it
That's
could
why
fall
I said
off.
it looked like it was a store-bought mask.
It could fall off at any point.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I'm wearing a hydrating face mask.
Right.
Don't breathe. 18 for me was Melissa's horror finale. Again, it's not that low down, guys. But while I loved that she had a prop, you really got into the moment with her. Like, it wasn't just printed on, like she is gored up here. It's still kind of your basic bloody nighty. For horror fans, this is pretty common in horror movies, which is probably a good pick in terms of going with, like, you have to do a horror performance because everybody sees the archetype behind it. But on the other hand, it's a white nighty. So 17 for me was Foxy's zombie look. Now, I loved the eyeball.
I did too.
And as down on herself as she was about prosthetics, and, you know, she's normally more of like a burlesque type gal, I think she mixed the two well. I think she could have been like, this could be like the prettiest little whorehouse zombie episode. Like, I think she did well, and I'm sad that she went home.
Me too. My number 17, season 1, episode 1, Frankie Doom. So again, not much higher than what your Frankie Doom was.
Right.
I can overlook the stupid pink headband for as good as everything else was with it. I love the teeth that she used. They came with very sharp teeth. And to be honest, I feel like this was also one of the better overall witch looks of the first episode, and actually had put her in my immediate kind of fan favorites from the very beginning. I was really looking forward to seeing what Frankie was going to be able to do. Unfortunately,
I loved the African tribal witch doctor that she went with.
Right.
So I definitely agree that she was one of the contenders. I was like, ooh, I want to see where she goes. But that pink headband.
So that pink headband's got to go.
Yeah, I tell you.
My number 16. On to the next screen. Season 1, episode 2, Xochi.
All right.
I actually ended up having this higher than I thought I would. I like the outfit. Do not get me wrong.
You just didn't expect.
I just didn't expect it to be this high.
Yeah.
I just like the outfit. It's one of the, again, I'm a wrestling fan. I watch wrestling, and I would watch somebody that dressed like this and probably root for them.
Well, and honestly, that's one of the reasons that was my second to top wrestling look, even though I had most of the wrestling looks pretty low. I agree with you. My 16 is Foxy's witch look. Now, I really did enjoy what Foxy did. It's another of the tribal priestesses looks. I loved the skull brassiere. I loved it. I loved the hair. But everything from the waist down kind of sucked. Not gonna lie. But this was an opening act. I was like, ooh, I want to see where she goes. You know, unfortunately, she goes home. 15 for me was Frankie's Sea Creature. Now, I thought this was really well done. Still not my favorite. And I don't know what it is. It might be that pre-made mermaid fabric that she and Melissa both used. I don't know, guys, but it's still pretty high. Yeah.
My number 15, that's surprisingly quite a bit higher than what yours was. Melissa B. Fierce's
Harlequin look, not witch look.
Harlequin look.
Right.
As we're going to go with. I loved it. Harley Quinn, as a character in DC Comics, is one of my favorite villain /
Yeah.
What do they call it? An anti-hero. She's an anti-hero now.
Right. I'm kind of more of a Poison Ivy fan, but, you know, they go hand in hand.
Right. But no, I thought it was a good look. It just wasn't the right
for that, yeah.
look for that specific competition. I loved the way it looked as a whole.
Oh, she looked fierce. She looked amazing. Like, when they were like, this is
Like-
Melissa B. Fierce and this is what she's wearing, I was like, oh, makes sense.
This feels more glam to me than her glam look. I know
Doesn't
that's
it?
wild.
No, I agree. Like, everything sparkled and her hair was in that gorgeous high top knot ponytail and, like, she looked amazing. I agree.
So yeah, that's where I got it. My number 15. My number 14. Season 1, episode 1, Loris.
Yep.
Which is her witch look. Not my favorite look she did, but very close, as you can tell. It's pretty high. As much as I was annoyed by Loris as a person by the time this ended, for me, she generally had pretty decent looks.
Oh yeah, she could definitely put a look together, and she's pretty as a picture. It's just, I wish she'd be silent. Okay.
Right.
14 for me was Xochi's zombie look. Again, for every, like, this look, she's a rock star. Like, an absolute 80s glam rock star zombie. She nailed this look. And I just don't think she could have perfected it more. Blood dripping out of her mouth, just like ichor. Like, she 100% loved it. Okay, my number 13 was Vander's horror finale. It's high. It's not that high because, again, the makeup was stellar. The prosthetics were stellar. Like, I loved the peeling face and, the contacts that she had in. I loved the crown with the syringes on it and everything. I loved the mirror part even, but then it's the dress, it's the nightgown for me. It's the white nightie, guys. It's a bloody white nightie with no embellishments other than blood.
Right. My number 13 is season 1, episode 4, Melissa B. Fierce.
Aw, with BB.
It was. I'm pretty sure this is my highest rated. Pretty in Pink look. I just enjoy.
BB.
She at least had some horror that went along with it, and that made me like it a bit more.
Made me happy.
And plus, I do like the movie Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde is such a cute movie.
I'm just
I object. Yeah.
My number 12, season 1, episode 3.
Which, by the way, guys, I should mention, I hate rom-coms with a passion. Not a big comedy person either, because my secondhand embarrassment is so strong that I want to puke. And I also really know what's going on before it even happens. Like, I figure things out immediately. So I know before somebody's going to embarrass themselves that they're going to do it and it's going to hurt me. But Legally Blonde is one of those movies that is almost classified as
Reese
good.
is so good in it.
But it's almost like a good for her kind of revenge type thing. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, my number 12 is Xochi's zombie look. I'm pretty sure this is probably the highest I have of zombie look as well. It's not. I think there's one more.
Yeah,
I got
me too.
This. No, I really liked it.
It's a really good look.
I think this is, in my opinion, Xochi's probably.
This is her best.
I think, is this the highest I have her on my list?
This is her best.
This is what
for
I'm
me.
at 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is her highest placement for me. Is 12.
Yep.
I loved it, and I think she did a really good job with like having the mic, and when she goes to sing like she's a rock star, the blood just drips out.
Yeah, no, I thought it was amazing.
She did a good job.
All right, 12 for me was Ursula's witch look. I loved that she went with Pan. I loved it. I'm sad that her pants came off as more velveteen than fur, at least to the Boulet brothers. But all I could see is uniqueness because nobody else went with a mythological god deity type witch. And I thought it was brilliant. It was brilliant. My number 11 was Frankie and the zombie look. And I know that this is odd that it's this high, but again, we're not doing it based on competition and how it applies. I personally think this Silent Hill Predator look
It's cool.
is amazing. Those teeth are amazing. And if they want to make this movie...
Oh, I forgot to mention.
I'm there for it.
That was also my 11.
Yeah, no, if they made a Predator in Silent Hill, and oh my god, I would watch this. They better do a good job, but I would watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, I really did like the zombie look. It was fun. It was, again...
It's not a zombie,
Is this, I believe, my second highest Frankie look. I got one more higher than this.
Yeah, me too. For Frankie, yeah.
But yeah, I really liked
This was such a cool look. I just wish it had been more applicable to the competition at that point. But I'm glad she presented it because now I know the mashup that we've all been missing.
Right. My number 10 is season 1, episode 2 of Vander. So for those of you that don't know, I rated this kind of low in comparison to some others in the wrestling look. Only because for me it didn't feel like 80s wrestler. This is something I feel like I would see more likely now than back in the 80s.
Right.
I still enjoyed the look. I still think it's a good look. I like.
Oh, it's a gorgeous
I
look.
loved that she came out and elbow dropped a Donald Trump
that was
pictured
so amazing.
blow up doll and
I loved her just exuberance for the role. Yeah.
So yeah, I did enjoy the look. I just, when we were doing the rankings before, I was being a little bit more strict in my opinion of
how it fit into the competition. Again, I think Frankie Doom's Predator Silent Hill look was one of the last. Well, I mean, Loris's Rabbit was the last in zombies for me, but it was very low because it's not a zombie, but it's very high in this ranking because it's an amazing look. Yeah. Right. So number 10 for me was actually Meatball's basic bitch look from episode 4. I did kind of enjoy the Heather's Clueless look. I hate the butt flap because, again, it didn't look... It looked more like you got it tucked up when you went to the potty kind of thing. But I liked her little gag with the mallet. I did like her gag with the cell phone and so on and so forth. And she looked pretty. So my number 9 is actually Loris's witch look from episode 1. And this is before Loris actually opened her mouth. And I was very excited about where she was going to go. First of all, she's gorgeous. Second of all, she did everything, including like beating her hair. Like her makeup was immaculate. I really liked this look. Again, it was sort of it was a little bit more of a subtle witch look.
I was so excited after this first episode for her because I remember first watching it and I do remember we got like a little bit of backroom pre-talk while they were getting ready. And I do remember being worried with Loris. As much as I did like this and I was looking forward to seeing what she did with her drag moving forward, the moment anyone ever comes on one of these shows and one of the first things they tell people is that they're vegan, I'm immediately like, oh no.
Well, there's a couple complications that go along with that, but yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I'm like that in real life. The moment, if one of the first things, if one of the first things someone mentions to me when I meet them is that they're vegan, I'm immediately turned off to you as a human being. Not because I think you being a vegan is wrong. Do what you want. I don't care.
I have no problem with you being
But you're not going to let me do what I want.
Well,
in the same way.
You're going to mention it
every time I have a burger. It's going to be, oh man, I can't believe you're eating meat. Well, you know what? I can't believe you're not.
Well,
so shut up.
I mean, here's the thing. I might be a little bit more respectful in terms of like eating in front of you and whatnot, but the people that I have been around that approach you like Loris does and just pop that into conversation immediately are the kind that will get on your back for eating your own food at home. Not in front of them. It's
like being a vegan isn't a choice of life. It's a personality trait. And it's people like that that irritate me.
I'm sorry that I inhaled my coffee because I was laughing.
It's like people that are like
I will say this.
Uber potheads. And
oh God,
everything is weed with them. They're like, man, have you tried
guys,
this strand of weed?
I have dated.
Oh man, this weed is so good. I can't wait to get home and smoke a bowl. And it's like, dude, shut up. I don't care.
I have been best friends with and dated potheads, stoners, growers, sellers, guys. So it's not like I have not, like, immersed myself in this. Like, I am not a pothead. I cannot smoke. I actually have allergic reactions. But, like, he's not wrong. Even after dating someone for almost 6 years, it was still front and center, daily conversation. And the added, even though he had seen my reactions when he had...
You just haven't found a strand that works for you
yet. But he snuck it in my food. He snuck it in supplement pills that he told me were for a headache because I had wicked migraines back then because hormones were out of control. He actually legit would see, like, my skin break out in hives. I'd be puking. I would be reeling like vertigo for 48 hours straight, and it was just, oh, you'll get used to it. Your tolerances. No, this is a reaction, yo. And being in the medical field, whether it be for animals or not, you know what an allergic reaction looks like. It's a thing. Now, I will go back and say this. I do have some friends that are vegetarian and vegan. Love them to death, but they also are the kind that are live and let live. Like, I will tell you why I chose this path if you ask me, and I am in turn respectful to them. I will not discuss the hamburgers I'm making at home or something, you know? It's just...
again, vegans, atheists.
Oh, anybody who, yeah. It's a thing.
There's another thing as well. I don't remember what the other one I always compare them to is, but yeah, it's always it's I'm this. Hey, I'm
it's
this.
It's the fanatics is what it is. It's fanatics of anything. So
you guys drive me nuts.
Yeah. But it was a pretty look.
True. Is it my turn? My number 9. Yep. My number 9 is season 1, episode 1, Ursula Major. A little bit higher than yours.
Oh man, I'm surprised. I mean, I loved this look. I'm just, yeah.
You didn't think it'd make it my top 10?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm glad it did, but yeah.
It's, again, I had a lot of excitement for Ursula.
Which might be why episode 2 let us down a little bit more, too. You know? Like, this look was inspiring. It really was, yeah. Your number 8?
My number 8... Season 1, Episode 6, Melissa horror look.
Yep. It's a good look.
I was a bit higher on the horror looks than she was for the other two ladies, other than, or for the two ladies that had a good horror look.
Still, I'm gonna say I'm an angry queen over here, guys.
So, a part of her look also, she came with a prop that was like a dismembered body that she was dragging around. It was kind of fun. But, you know, there was more than just the 90s. She had the bullet hole in her head.
Yeah.
That I thought prosthetically she actually did a really good job with. You could tell she was like a disgruntled coming back from the dead ex-wife.
Yeah.
That was coming back for revenge. And she actually had a really cool pose that I kind of wish I'd have got the picture of for here specifically, where...
So when she's on her knees,
it's when she's on her knees and she's like licking the knife.
Oh yeah, like I like the one where she poses on her knees and she's getting ready to plunge it downward into
So yeah, I like I said, I had it up a bit higher, not too much higher, but a little bit higher.
I think they all failed in terms of like, because I'm a big horror queen, guys. Like, I love horror. I love 80s horror, 70s horror. Give me
You want to know what this reminded me of? And it's probably... I don't think I've even thought of that until now. Death Becomes Her.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Because you've got What's-Her-Face with the big hole in her stomach that walks around throughout most of the movie. There's going to be somebody that inevitably comes back through and watches this and goes... What is that movie? And it's like, it's an old 90s comedy.
That
old
fucking
comedy
hurts
horror.
me.
It's fantastic.
If you haven't seen that, go watch it. You'll thank us later. Yeah, I think the reason that those failed for me is, again, just the basic white nightie. Because even in Death Becomes Her, they had the gorgeous, like, almost like Playboy bunny type robes, you know?
Right.
So number 8 for me was Vander's witch look, which, guys, I loved. This is the highest witch look for me. She was spooky. She was different. This is the introduction to how she can just move like she is not put together the same way the rest of us are. And it's weird because it's like this jerky, disembodied, almost creature-esque movement, and she still makes it look glamorous and like a catwalk, a strut.
Yes. What makes this even better, and I obviously, as you can tell, have this higher. What makes this even better is before we even get this performance, before we even get this look, one of the first thing that comes out of Vander's mouth on the show and in its entirety is, yeah, I haven't done very much performance.
She hadn't done any.
Or any performance.
She hadn't been doing this for very long.
And I'm telling you right now,
shit, I
for almost the entire series, she has the best performance night in and night out.
Yeah.
The only person I feel like that ever truly competes with her is Melissa, who has tons of performance experience.
Right, which is almost not fair. It's like comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah.
But I don't disagree. I think performance-wise, strut-wise, catwalk, lip syncing, any of the performance challenges, the two of them knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
So.
Guess what, guys? We're in the top 8 or
Last
top 7.
page.
And I believe yours is the first one.
Okay, so my 7 was Vander's glamour finale look. I love her puppy. Also, so while her fabric was still black, it was sort of more of a crocodilian sort of leather skirt look. I loved the actual shape that she chose for this whole thing for her. Long evening gloves, thigh-high boots. I loved that she chose the chest piece so that she was playing with the different genders. She is an amazing redhead. Amazing, like, in this and in her punk look, which was from the Sea Creatures, but the performance that they did on stage at Mother, like, she would make the best queer Jessica Rabbit ever. Ever. And again, a lot of this comes down to her strut. Mm-hmm. Her walk is enthralling. It's just, it encaptures you. She is so confident, and she does like these swirlies and like just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, yeah.
All right, my number 7 is the Vander von Odd sea creature look. It's just a great look.
Yeah.
Like,
everything up here is
everything up here is just great look. At this point,
yeah.
I'm splitting hairs on what my favorite looks are. I don't.
Completely subjective, based on personal tastes. Yeah.
And I know we had different feelings as far as what it reminded us of, but for me, it definitely reminds me more of the clicker zombie style that comes from the
Last of Us
series.
I definitely see an enemy. I know.
But yeah, I it was just a great look. My number 6, sticking on the Vander train, is Vander's horror look. And again, I knew I was gonna have her and Melissa's a bit higher than what you were. I really love Vander's horror look. And a lot of that also comes with the performance.
Yeah, her performance.
Like, again, the creepy walk and the way she's able to just move.
Well, and this one, like,
to it 'cause she's looking
so
in the mirror.
into the mirror and being horrified at her own visage that it's just like, yeah, she sells it.
And she did a really good job with, like, the face peeling and then the whiteout contacts. That, again, I'm jealous of all of you people that can wear contacts, because, like, that would be the one thing I feel that could actually enhance any kind of, like, cosplay I could do, and I will never be able to because I can't do it.
You can't even deal with eye drops.
I go to touch my own eyeball and I'm like,
yeah. He gets so squicked out. It's great. Contacts might be like the only thing I could do, because again, if anybody wants to ever take time to, like, if Soph ever decides she wants to get into horror special effects, dude,
and she wants to do some mixtures and make it look like my face is peeling off, I'm fucking here for it. Okay?
Yeah, she can do that on you, and I'm not saying that because I'm prissy. I'm saying that because I have severe rosacea, right. And like the idea of anything other than like the moisturizers and anti-rosacea stuff on my face over that, no, it can't breathe.
Right.
But if she wants to do eye makeup, contacts, that kind of thing for me, or if she wants to make it look like the rest of the skin on my body's peeling, I'm here for it.
Right.
My number 6 was Melissa's Basic Bitch on episode 4. I adore this look. I love the Legally Blonde. I love how much she put into this, and not only did she put it into this gorgeous sort of like 50s Legally Blonde with BB look, but she also came out with like the ultimate I'm gonna be like an ice skater kind of reveal afterwards. It was very well done.
All right, so before we get into top 5, because we are in the top 5 now.
We are.
We're in the final 5.
Wow.
Just to give everybody an idea, each of the finalists have at least one spot in my top 5.
Same. Not the ones that maybe you would think, but same.
And then that's honestly all I had that I thought was cool. That's when you know that the Boulets did an actual
it was the top 3.
A good job choosing who the top 3 were.
And this is out of all the looks, just compiled without the competition taken into Right. So my top 5, number 5, was Vander's Skeletor look, which is what I called it, from the zombie episode. I thought this was immaculate. It was so well done. The bling on her skeleton hands, like the pearls dripping off of the face mask. I didn't have a problem with the mask in the same way that the Boulet brothers did. Of course, when we did the zombie episode, yes, because it's not zombie. But in general, this is such a high class, almost like lost pirate ship look. It's immaculate. Yeah. And again, she sold it. Like, I don't know how she even came out of that trailer in a back bend, but I swear she did.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, my number 5 is Loris's wrestling look. Like I said, I had this quite a bit higher than you did. This is my favorite Loris look. It is my favorite wrestling look. This is somebody I absolutely would root for in a wrestling ring.
Okay.
I love the different color hair. I love the Toxic Avenger look. Like, I am a Toxic fan.
I do like Toxie, yeah.
And I think for this look as a whole, for this competition, I feel like she would have been better served keeping the medical mask on that she had, because it added more.
It was a gorgeous mask.
It added more mystery to it. Makes you wonder what's behind the mask.
It was a really gorgeous mask too.
But at the same time, she didn't skimp on the prosthetics for the boils that she had all over her face either. Like, she had the boils and bumps.
She didn't just reveal a green face. Yeah,
right. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. Again, if you guys don't know, my favorite, she's listed as a female wrestler. She goes by a them, they, though. Is Abaddon with the AEW, and
they're amazing.
They're zombie, like they go with a full blown zombie look.
Her horror look is amazing.
Whew, love it. But yeah, I love the.
Well, and I love Toxie, like Toxic Avenger. I just like, yeah.
My number 4 is Vander's witch look. I had this a bit higher. I think yours was in the last grouping.
It was.
Again, this was so surprising for me, and I just, it's not my favorite Vander look. It's very close.
It's such a good. I think the blue hair is really good too for a witch.
The blue hair fit in nicely.
She
had the pagan symbols on her.
She had the broom.
She had the broom with her.
Didn't it spew
She had a
glitter?
broom that, like, she twisted the handle and it shot. It wasn't glitter. It was
like glittery confetti.
It was like confetti strands that shot out of the top
when she was melting.
When she was melting. She didn't go overboard with the melting like everyone else did.
For a baby queen who apparently has never put on a show before, never done a performance.
She's the first ever prop.
Yeah, her gags were amazing.
Gag. She's the first ever gag user.
Yeah. So my number 4 was actually Vander, and this is the Matador look from wrestling. Again, maybe not the best wrestling look, but an immaculate design, flawless, down to the beautiful pink triangle on her face. Like, I agree with the judges. This is just a very gender bending, gorgeously designed, picked fabric, like perfectly fitted. And I think for me, a big thing is I felt a lot of the wrestling looks failed when they picked fabric for their leotards. A lot of them had saggy crotches. And, I was in gymnastics for a good portion of my younger life. And I will tell you, saggy leotards are the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, she looked beautiful. My number 3 look was also Vander. And this is the sea creature. And I am going to mention this. This is a split level for me. Like, I thought her punk look when she performed on stage at Mother was so beautiful. Like, I'm so sad that her tail feathers did not stay erect because her design, like,
she had the best punk look for sure.
Yeah, her hair being like half and half, and then putting the rhinestones on the bare side of her skull, like, beautiful. I also like the attention to detail with this anemone look that, I thought anemone. She looks floral. She's a beautiful ginger again. She's got the dead fish coming out of some of the floral parts of her. And then on top of it, during the photo shoot, she moved like one would imagine like a more vegetative type sea creature would move versus more predatory. But she did make sure that she was a deadly little flower. She had the dead fish skeleton. I thought it was very well done.
All right. My number 3 is Sea Creature, Frankie Doom. It was my favorite Frankie look. I think when we talked about the Sea Creature looks, I'd even mentioned how much I really loved this Sea Creature look. I felt like prosthetically, it was the second best overall prosthetics in the entire show. Mm-hmm. The only one that I thought was better was Loris's stupid fucking bunny face. That was really
she had
well
to rip
done.
off to lick the brains.
Right.
After giving a speech.
Right. But
yeah.
I love the trident that's being used. I love it's almost like Ursula if Ursula was in real life.
Yeah, like the warrior version of her. Yeah.
Yeah. That was my number 3. My number 2. Dun, 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 is Vander's zombie skeleton look.
You were gonna call it Skeletor too?
No, I wasn't. I was gonna call it a zombie one just to give you shit. Her and I looked at this one differently in terms of the way the competition went. I looked at it as if a voodoo priest was wearing the skull stuff when they died, and they came back due to the voodoo magic that they were using
prior. Just had very bony hands to begin with?
Right.
Uh-huh.
No, because it actually looked like somebody that was wearing skull stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I was thinking of it like a full-on voodoo priest.
Okay, gotcha.
Voodoo priest thing. That's what I was looking at when I seen it. And again, this is one of those looks that I could not have disagreed more with for the Boulets. They hated the fact that they felt that the mask took away from the painting of the face and the skill. But I thought the mask added so much more because it does look like they're just wearing someone else's face. It's like, I killed this person, broke open their skull, and now I'm wearing their face.
If we drank out of the skulls of our enemies, society would be so much better.
Right.
Keeps everybody in their place.
This is my second favorite look. And then, what's your number 2? Because we have the same number 1.
Oh, okay. My number 2 is Frankie's basic bitch look. And I love this look. And I think part of it is that my dopamine levels go so high when I see this ode to Jennifer Coolidge from Legally Blonde. And I will tell you, Jennifer Coolidge is probably the lady with the largest penis walking around Hollywood right now. And tits. And she looks fabulous doing it. And it just made me so happy when Frankie came out in this. So our number 1...
Both of our number 1.
...is Melissa's filth look from the finale. This was This was immaculate, which is kind of funny to say about a nun. But
that is
mother
absolute
immaculate blasphemy. Yeah. But it was surprising. I felt like it was glamorous because she's got the sparkling habit going on. I mean, like the way that she put garter belts on to accentuate that she had a vag, even if it was a bloody mess.
This
is horror, filth, and glamour in one
That's
look.
what I was going for. This was for filth. But if you wanted to say this could have been used for all of them, it would have fit. And you could definitely tell, over and above all, she put the most thought into this. I'm not going to say she put the most resources and most effort into it, but she put the most thought into it. Because everything about it
perfection
is pure blasphemic perfection.
Without having to resort to a whole bunch of symbols, honestly. Yeah. She's stuck with a very basic design. She was mostly nude.
She had rosary beads that she was using as
tail feathers.
As a tail feathers, anal beads situation.
Yeah, she had a censer that was also like, so she was swinging it around like one would in a chapel, but then at the end it was filled with blood that she ended up pouring on herself.
Yeah, she
ripping pages from the Bible to put over the badge that she has mutilated for some reason.
Right. It was just an insanely well done look. And here's the thing. While I do think this is the best look of the season, it is a shame that I couldn't say it's a look that was so good that it won her the competition, because I do think they made the right choice in Vander, because Vander
consistency
was consistently at the top of her game week in and week out, and I do think she earned that win.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so stylistically, the amount of effort and personal touch and personalization, plus the choice of fabrics and everything, Vander consistently excelled above everybody.
Yep.
And then you put two of the best actual performers next to each other, and that's where you have to call it. Like, Melissa did really, really well, don't get me wrong, but her looks weren't always on the level. Performances, absolutely. Looks, not necessarily.
I feel like Melissa grew the most out of everybody on the show, because
most as a monster.
She came from being just pure glam.
Yeah.
And you could even see it. Her first couple of looks, she was still zoned in on the glam part, and she got called out for it 2 weeks in a row. If you want me to be honest, I'm glad it didn't happen, but I always felt like she should have been one of the first people eliminated.
Harlequin versus...
Because the Harlequin was nothing to do with being a zombie.
Witch.
Witch, I'm sorry. And
then her kitty
her cat outfit was just not a good 80s wrestling outfit, and she was at the bottom for both of them.
But I did absolutely love the comment about the kitty look. Like, you need to be the kitty from the other side of the tracks. Like, bring out the stray cat. Yeah.
But I am glad she stuck around, because had she not stuck around,
we wouldn't have gotten
got this.
I mean, this is incredible.
It'll be fun to see. Now, we're not going to do this at the end of every season in terms of adding in all of the stuff to make it a bigger and bigger list. We're going to wait till we're done at the end, and then we'll do like a 5-episode series of the ultimate looks for everybody list. But it will be interesting. I will be personally doing it season to season, just so I'm not overwhelmed at the end. And it'll be fun to see how this ranks up against other people's stuff. I definitely have my mental on some looks that are going to fully compete with it, and I know they're going to compete with it. I just don't know how.
How? Yeah, honestly.
Because the only
part of the look.
The only time I felt more dirty watching anything than watching her do was Dolly.
Yeah, for his filth look for the finale too. This, again, it could have been all three in one. And not only was she using the rosary beads as a tail, but on top of it, they were split up like a flagellation device. So one could have inferred that she took them off, and, like a lot of fanatical religious people, guys, will flagellate themselves, whip themselves on the back as part of their, like, penance.
For those of you, if you haven't ever seen it, a good example of this is done in Da Vinci Code. Played by none other, by the way, than Paul Bettany.
Amazing.
Who goes on to become the Vision. I had no clue that was him until I went back to watch it. I was like, man,
kidding.
he looks really familiar.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, it's Vision!
He's the creepy albino dude, the assassin that flagellates himself. And like,
amazing actor.
The toe curl that he does when he whips himself on them. Yeah, it is.
Is it Paul Bettany?
Yes,
Did I get the name right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, but also, this is number one because it shocked us.
Yeah. The others, it was like, hey, that looks good. That's cool.
I mean, like, this is just
That's
like,
cool.
wait.
Right.
And then she does the mic drop with the beads at the end that just sums it all up. Her personality, her fierceness is amazing.
Like, when they were doing the interviews afterwards, when Drac and Swan
when she's freezing.
Well, no, not even that. When Drac and Swan were in the back talking about what they liked and how they were going to pick who was going to win, they had brought up that moment of for Vander's filth,
right?
And how was it Swan or which one was it that was gagging? That they were so disgusted
Neither
by.
of them, because when I rewatched it, it turns out that it was her pulling the anal beads out at the end that caused Drac to gag.
Oh, was it?
Which cracked me up because I felt like that was the ultimate mic drop. Now, maybe particles came out that we did not see, but you know, that was all part of the filth, guys.
But no, it was so well done, and
so well
I got to give Melissa mad props for this.
This took balls, and I don't care where on your body your balls are. This took balls, and she was freezing at the end. You could see her poor little body twitch and tremble because they were talking to them, and she was covered in blood and basically naked.
I don't even actually need details because I'm not that curious. Do not get me wrong, but I am slightly curious on how she managed to tuck in a way that she could move around as freely as she did, because I was like,
not only did she look like she had the perfect structure up front while it was mutilated, it looked perfect, but she also had a tail.
Right.
How?
I don't.
But don't tell us.
I don't care that much.
I need a little bit of mystery. She didn't leave much to the imagination, so let's leave that mystery there, guys. Anyway, the mic drop at the end, just boom, sold, got it. This is it. That's it. And I you know, close second for me is Vander. Honestly, really stuck out in my mind. And then Frankie, that booby walk. The booby walk that Jennifer Coolidge does. Perfect. It was perfection.
Is that like a China walk?
No, it's a booby jiggle walk. She like hops while she walks.
Walk.
Yeah. Anyway.
I was thinking of the cooking walk.
Where, like, we're talking about boobs. Where did you get, like, are you hungry?
Always.
Got it. Okay. Well, guys, this is how life goes here. He's so used to the boobage. It's just another day. Just another day.
No, it was a good season. We've only got one more ranking show to do before we start to dive into season 2. The next one won't be near as hard or near as long to set up, thank God.
Right. But it's the Boulet brothers.
But we're going to be ranking the Boulet brothers looks. So
that should be fun, and it's different, and they've got some amazing looks too. So
it is.
Stick around for that.
I think there's only going to be like 12 overall.
2 per.
I
mean, there's roughly 2 per.
It will be less than 12 because there's like 1 or 2 episodes where they on. No, I think it's going to be 12.
Yeah, 2 per. They normally have.
Unless, not necessarily. There are some episodes where they don't really wear anything in the beginning in terms of a.
They don't really wear anything?
No. In terms of a look that I qualified as something that needed to be pointed out.
Oh, okay.
Where, like, there's one episode where they start off laying in bed. I didn't include that.
They have some nice negligees on.
Yeah, it didn't matter to
me. But yeah. I mean, guys, this is how come he's so easy to keep satisfied.
Right.
It just doesn't matter to him.
No, it's just... I did with them during the episodes what I did with the contestants.
Yeah.
I only went for the looks they were using to show off to people.
Right.
Not for the intro videos, not for any of that. It was there. If they came out and they were doing the introduction,
what they were presented, yeah.
It was their presentation outfits, whether it was that or sometimes they were presenting themselves as they were about to kill somebody.
Our favorites, personally, but that was fun.
It was. Rather enjoyed it.
Interesting that we had a couple that lined up.
Perfect.
Yeah. No.
We had 2 or 3 that lined up absolutely perfect. Most of ours
were kind of generally.
Most of ours were generally in the same blocks with each other in terms of within 5 to 7.
Right.
And then we had our 2 or 3 per person that were on complete opposite ends of.
Yeah, we got to have our own thoughts sometimes.
True. So yeah, with that being said, guys, that is the end of this episode. Again, join us next time. We'll be talking about
the Boulet
brothers and their rankings for season 1. And then after that, we'll be starting season 2.
Woohoo!
Where we get to talk about bitch pudding.
Yeah.
I don't remember who all else is in there.
Abora
and bitch pudding are the 2 I remember.
Abora and Dolly and James Majesty.
I forget Dolly's never. Oh yeah, Dolly was one of the first seasons.
Yeah.
And then he came back for season 4.
So those are the ones that all get in the cat fight at the beginning because of Abora. And there's... Oh, isn't it Monique in this one?
Is it Monique?
I think Monique
one of my favorite people.
No. One of his, not mine.
Listen. Monique made The Last Supper. Okay?
You're right.
She was...
I mean, she is more amusing than Foxy's Gone. Like, Foxy was on something.
Foxy was on something. I mean, Monique is too, but...
Much more obvious. And called out on it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that weird creature from Canada.
What the fuck is that? Yoska?
Yes.
I'm glad that you said creature. I knew exactly you were talking about.
And that wasn't meant to be insulting. She refers to herself as a creature.
It's because she wears all the wild head things.
Yeah, well, she wears the mask like she is a creature. Like, she describes herself as a creature, So,
Yoska's not that bad. Just weird. Definitely weird, but not that bad.
Yes, she is.
I always forget Yoska's one of the ones that comes back for Titans.
She's a dick. Mm-hmm. She's a little but kind of funny. It's definitely not an Abora Loris situation.
Yeah, so you got Abora and Loris who are extremely pity me, whining.
Mm-hmm.
Please pay attention to me, love me. I can't stand it if you don't love me.
Well, let's just talk about me about everything.
Mentality.
Me.
And Yoska's just fuck you, I don't care.
But she's sneaky about it. She says underhanded shit in quiet tones from across the room or when she's being interviewed. And, when she's called out on it, she just grins.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. Is this the one that...
Are you sure this is the one Yoska's in, though?
Yoska's in a couple.
Oh, I know.
I'm pretty sure she starts out...
I know Yoska's in Titans.
No, come to think of it, I think she's in 3. But I do know James Majesty and Abora and Dolly
and Bitch Puddin.
And Bitch Puddin.
And Monique.
Victoria Black's in this one.
Yes, Victoria Black.
Which
was one of our favorites for so long.
She still is. I mean, Bitch will always take...
I don't know, the other Black almost ruined the family name.
Yeah, no, I ignored the fact that she was related.
I don't remember what her first name was, the other Black that I can't remember off the top of my head. I remember not liking her until towards the end when you really start to understand why she is the way that she is.
Right.
And you're like, I can give a little bit of leeway.
No, that's the episode that Madison is also in.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
That's the same season that has that one lady that I cannot stand. The soapbox.
We'll come to it, guys. Eve Hollow.
Yeah.
Something like that. Again,
I don't do soapboxes.
We don't do lectures.
I don't need lectured to. Keep
that's
your political stances, and that's fine. I'm cool with it.
It's honestly
I'm not even saying I necessarily disagreed with a lot of what she said. She was just loud and obnoxious.
I just don't want to be preached to. Yeah, I barely take suggestions. Well, guys, I just it's something I'm working on. Keeping other people from doing to me. Yeah. it's a personal.
Right.
Everybody's got a toxic trait.
All right.
Love you guys.
That's gonna
it
do
was
it.
fun.
We love you, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Toodles.